How do I earn a development team's trust? Common question, and a real concern for a new Scrum Master or Agile coach. Well, I break it down using the trust equation. It's a very simple behavioural equation that helps you understand what trust is, and it gives you the levers to play with. So, simply, it's your credibility, your reliability, and your intimacy with that person, all divided by your self-orientation. So credibility, how credible you are in the role that you present yourselves in. So as an Agile coach, as a Scrum Master, are you credible? Do you have a background that they can look at and say, okay, this person has done this before? Okay, very easy for somebody like myself. I have the qualifications, I have the years behind me, but maybe you're new. In which case, it's going to be about your learning. It's about your ability to talk to the history of Agile, the importance of certain things, and I'll be brutally honest, your ability to name drop. One of the things that I teach in both the Advanced Certified Scrum Master and the Scrum Professional courses is the history of Agile, where it comes from in terms of Agile and in terms of Lean. And one of the key reasons for that is to give people the ammunition for credibility. I walk them through, actually I get them to walk through it first, and then we go back through. Where does Agile come from? What are the key books, papers, people, movements that happen? What are their dates? Okay. You don't have to remember them all, but you need to remember key ones that are important to you and your context, so that when the question comes up, it's not, oh, Scrum's been around for a little while. You can actually turn around and say, well, if we take the latest date, it's 1995 when Jeff Sutherland and Ken Schwaber stood up on stage at the Uppsala conference and presented Scrum. But it had spent around a decade before that formulating between them and their software teams. One answer gives real gravitas. It lets them know you know what you're talking about. Okay? It's a shortcut to credibility. Okay? And borrow somebody else's while you build your own with that team. Nothing wrong with that. It's not going to be as credible as I've been doing this for 15 years and here's all my credentials, here's the clients I've worked with, but it's a start. And it's one you may have noticed consultants use on a regular basis, is they'll turn up and they'll talk about the models and they'll refer to the authors and things like that, so that the leaders around them know they've done their work. So credibility, reliability, this is really simple. Your say-do factor. Okay? How often when you say you'll do something, do you actually do it? And if it's not perfect, work towards it being perfect. And you can do that one of two ways. The first way is when you say something, do it. Okay? Make a note, preferably written or on your phone or something like that, not just in the back of your head. Yeah, of course I'll remember that, because you're busy, you won't always remember. So make a note of it and then do the thing you said you would. Okay? That instantly transforms it from somebody who might do something to somebody who's going to do their best to do something. Okay? Engage the people you've said that you will do something early if it's at risk or it's going to take longer, so that they know they have their expectations managed. It's not that you're not doing the thing, it's just that it's a bit harder or a bit longer, or that person you need to talk to isn't available. Okay? They understand. It's not going to impact your say-do factor. It's just that you said it would be done by Wednesday. It is now Tuesday evening and it doesn't look like it will be done by Wednesday. So you're letting people know, I need a couple more days. It's a bit harder than I thought it would be. Okay. Your say-do factor is still good. The easier way of improving that reliability, though, is don't say you'll do as much. Be very, very aware of what you have on your plate when you say you'll do something. Is that thing that you're tempted to say yes to of great enough value to put something else on your list at risk? Take a moment just to think, this is what I've got on. Do I actually have the time to get that done? And if I don't have the time, do I still need to get it done? And if so, what is coming off my list? Because now you're going to have to manage that action, because that is going to impact that say-do ratio, that reliability. So when you're looking at reliability, first of all, absolutely, when you say you're going to do something, be known as the person who does. Do what they say. Should finish that sentence. But agree to less. Okay? A few things well done will massively improve, rather than agreeing to everything and still only achieving a few things. Okay? You've done the same amount of work, but one of them is everything you agreed to, one of them is a fraction of what you agreed to. And then intimacy. Don't worry, it's not as bad as many people think. It's how well you know the other person. Trust is person to person. It's an individual aspect. It's not formed as a group. So it's how well you know that one person. And the way that you deal with this is, shockingly, by getting to know them. Sit down with the people that you're looking to build trust with. Have a chat. Not only about work stuff, but non-work stuff. We like people and we trust people better when we have a fuller idea of their lives. Doesn't mean you have to tell them everything. Okay? In fact, for some, that's certainly not a good idea. But be open. There's lots of our lives that we can share safely, okay, with the people we work with. They may or may not be interested. Gauge that and share appropriately. Okay, but get to know them, sit down, have a coffee. If people in the team are meeting up after work, get yourself invited. Invite yourself if it really comes to it. Okay, but build those relationships, build that rapport, because over time, that is a very strong indicator. I have people that I know really well who they're not necessarily hugely credible or reliable, but I have deep personal connections going back decades, and I absolutely trust them in some aspects of my life. And all of this is divided by your self-orientation. Okay? How selfish are you being? Why are you doing the things you do? In many new organisations, the team, the organisation at large, are going to assume you're doing it to get promoted. You're doing whatever you're doing for your benefit. And you need to start being clear and saying no, but you need to let your actions speak for you. They will speak louder. Take the time to make sure that you're doing things to help people, and then let them take the credit. So if the team improve, that's great. Praise them publicly. Let other people know they did a good thing. And the team are going to start realising it's not about you. Of course, we have our selfish moments, and there's nothing wrong with that. And nobody's going to penalise you for it. But the large part of your work is in service to others. So your self-orientation is by nature as a Scrum Master and Agile coach very low. And that hopefully is an easy one to stay humble with and accept that really success for you is other people doing well and other people receiving that credit and that praise. So you need to think about those four factors. Okay? Building trust takes time. You can't build relationships overnight. You can't build credibility overnight, or your reliability, and your self-orientation today is where it is, and the people's perception of it is where it is. But what you need to do when you're looking at how do I increase the trust people have for me, this team, this organisation, look at those four levers. Which ones can you play with? How can you turn the scales so that you're a more trustworthy person? People will naturally gravitate towards you and trust you to help them help themselves. So I would recommend starting there, thinking about the people that you're looking to build trust with, and which one of those four levers are you going to pull first. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.